Welcome back to another episode of All That Matters. Today, we're going to be talking about something to sing about. Not the movie, even though it is, pretty darn good. Anybody remember that movie? I'm just wondering. It was really good. It's just, it came to my mind. Anyway, basically, today's topic, we're going to be discussing where singing plays in my artistry. Anybody who knows me and also knows, my history, they know I kind of grew up singing in my life, because from a very early age, like 5, 4, 6, around that area, I ended up getting put into vocal and piano lessons. And ever since then, I kind of grew up until about 13, 14 when I stopped those lessons singing. And then outside of that, I was also in the church choir, like hallelujah, hallelujah. And plus I was in a school choir up here singing like Requiem eternal, stuff like that. And then I was also, due to the voice lessons, end up doing stuff more like, I believe I can fly, I believe I can touch the sky, I think about it every night and day, spread my wings and fly away. Doing stuff like that. So, my experience ranges in a whole different things, and growing up singing a whole lot, whether it be other people's songs, choir pieces, and just musicals as well, because through school I ended up doing stuff like that as well. So when it came to doing my own stuff, it was like, what do I want to do? I really like hip hop, and I don't get to do that a lot. So you know what? I'm gonna rap. And that's where I based all of my stuff on. It's all based and centered around hip hop, which is why I always say I do hip hop, pop, and R&B, because the base is hip hop. It comes first. And that rubs some people the wrong way when I try to explain it to them. Even when people do end up hearing me sing, because I'll introduce them to my music. I'll be like, yeah, I rap, I do hip hop and R&B. They hear me singing around work and they're like, oh my gosh, you can sing too? You should be in like one of those singing competitions. You should be like on The Voice. Back when I was younger, it was more like, oh, you should do American Idol. You'd be great. They're about to be lowering the age. You'll be able to enter, and I bet you do really, really well. It'd be so great. You'd be famous. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Because, after I saw like that first season and I kind of saw what was going on with the contestants, they come on there singing, they do well, they have to go on the tour, and then, if they get picked up by a label, they're going to try and push what they're known for, which is going to be just the singing. But all of my stuff, I'm kind of wanting to do more with this hip hop stuff. I get to sing all the time. When do I get to go rap? Only when I make it. So let me make that, and you can have the competition. And that's kind of been my stance on the whole thing up until now. It's still the same, not really trying to be super famous. So, even though maybe going on something like America's Got Talent would allow me to fuse the two, I'm like, you know what? It's cool. I'ma do me. I'ma do my independent junk, right? The thing is, now being out of high school for quite some time, not being in any choirs or musical numbers, I kind of miss being able to sing a whole lot. But then I'm like, sheesh, it's been such a long time since I've really had someone try and teach me. I mean, I may get pointers from people who I look up to who've gone off to do college choirs and then even go and get masters overseas and junk. I mean, I may get a couple pointers, but I can't be that good. Maybe I should just keep my stuff to like simple little pop songs and maybe a chorus or two, because you know I don't think I necessarily have the vocal chops, because you know I'm like, dang, I get so envious, and I end up hearing dude and he's like, so many tears have hit the floor, but I won't keep holding on, even if I have to be alone, and you shown. And then I'm like singing along and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I could do that. And then I end up hearing other acts around my town that I'm like, man, y'all, that dude Allion, man, that dude's real good. I mean, did you hear that song? He's like, and it living like a star, a star. And I'm singing along and I'm like, oh, I guess I can hit that note. I thought I couldn't. Well, gosh dang. I guess I could do something like that if I wanted to. Maybe I should think about writing something like that. And then I end up hearing even other people like Tori Kelly. Even with Tori Kelly, I'm like, dang, that girl be singing with them runs. How in the world she be doing that? I wish I could do that stuff. Did you hear what she just did? She was like, pretty young thing, repeat after me, say na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, I want to love you. And I'm like, oh wait, I guess if I try, I can actually do that stuff. So you know, belting, high notes, runs, I can do that kind of stuff. I just don't think of myself doing it, so therefore I don't create it. But now that I have those tools and knowledge of the capability, I can now infuse it into my artistry. So this is a little public service announcement. You're gonna hear me sing a little bit more. Are you happy? Claps. Claps around if you're happy. Claps around if you're happy. That's why, you know, I started to get a little bit more comfortable, you know, adding a little bit more singing, because, you know, it's like, you know, maybe it's time I can go ahead and put in full songs of just singing, like In Flames off the Monsterpiece. And then, you know, even going on to the wish list, like I end up singing all of Stay With Me or something like that. And then on the Lapidary, you get Getaway, songs like that, where it's just all straight up singing in the pop and R&B realm. Because before it was just like, okay, maybe I'll have an R&B song, but there's gonna at least be like one little rap verse. Just gotta stick one little rap verse in there, just to, you know, mix it up. With the new stuff, be expecting a little bit more singing. I'm starting to break down that barrier because I'm finally finding something to sing about. But remember, it's still hip hop, pop, and R&B. Hip hop's still my base. And if that's something you can't understand, I'm sorry. At least I know what I'm talking about, and that's all that matters. Because I'm talking to myself anyway. Plus, we all know singing is a cheat code to make everybody like your music. But if you want to check that out, that's over here at fireblaster.com. Right over here, you can subscribe for my new videos every other week. Down here is a playlist of all that matters. And down here is a YouTube recommended video. Threes.